Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Speaker PR and Branding Room. I was getting the recording done. Show me the money. That's what we're talking about today. How speakers really make the cash, how they really secure the bag. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We have a guest speaker tonight, Nicole Roberts Jones, as well as Kadena, our co host as well. I want to introduce myself. My name is Pam Perry, and I'm the publisher of Speakers Magazine, having the awesome Nicole Roberts Jones, who has been on the cover of Speakers Magazine, as well as Kadena, who's been featured in the magazine, talking at the beginning of the year about how to make boss moves in 2021, right? That was one of the things that she was talking about. That really hopefully people took note of. If you want to get the Speakers Magazine, go to speakersmagazine.com, download all the issues. Nicole is alert going to be gracing the cover again in 2022. Welcome, Monica. Welcome, Priscilla. And so one of the things I just want to say that as well as being the publisher of Speakers Magazine, I've been a publicist and I promote speakers and authors. Been doing it for about 20, 30 years. And some of my clients have been ministry type of clients, from Dr. Cindy Trim to T.D. Jakes to Bill Winston to even Dr. Miles Monroe. Loved him, loved him. And then also working with people in between. The thing of it is that when you have PR, what it does is it raises your visibility as well as your credibility, but it allows other people who have never heard of you to hear you in a different format. So if you think you're ready for PR, please visit pamperrypr.com. You can kind of do a self-assessment about where you fit in terms of the PR. But before we even get PR, we're going to talk today about why PR is important, because this is a Thursday, and how you can monetize that PR if you are a speaker and an author. And show me the money. What this one is really talking about tonight is how to really, besides speaking, other ways that you can make money as a speaker. And so we're going to be really authentic. We want you all to ask your questions of our guest, Nicole Roberts Jones. She'll have some things that I'll be pinning on our club as well at the top about her Be The Answer event.com that is coming up, because all of us are an answer to someone's prayer. All right. We are speakers and we are an answer to someone's prayer. The problem is just trying to make sure that we clarify that, have a strategy, and then get out there and get known enough, which is the name of my podcast, which you can find at pamperrypr.com. So I really want to welcome everyone. I see Sharice in the room, Monica, Priscilla, and Linda and Sharon and Dr. Cheryl. And I see Robert there as well. I was just thinking about you, Robert. How are you? Seeing you in the room is there. And then I see my BDS sister, Sharon Rose, in the room as well. So welcome to come up to the stage. I see Judith. Oh my goodness, the Black Women in Media. She's in the room as well. Thank you for coming. You all will love Nicole Roberts Jones. She is such a gem. She wrote a book called Find Your Fears, Answering Your Soul's Call to Purpose, Power, and Profit. And you would really love it, because if you're ready to find your fears, this is the room for you. Make sure that you invite other people into the room as well. The book was endorsed by Sharaya Jackson, who is the Essence Lifestyle and Relationship editor, and the author of Boss Bride, and then also Doreen Rainey, who was at that time the vice president of Radical Success, and which is a Steve Harvey company, which is where Nicole worked as well. She worked with Steve Harvey as well. So Nicole Roberts Jones as well. And then also to, hey, Jackie, and also to Benita, want to make sure that you do grab, if you have not already, the speaker business model from Kadena Tate. Oh my God. Okay, go to kadenatate.com right now and get that. If you have not got the speaker model, uh, download from Kadena free, make sure that you get that. That's one of the things that every speaker needs, besides just speaking and speaking well, and having publicity. You need a business model to put it all in so that you can scale it. That's really the whole point, so that you can scale. Hey, Robert, so that you can scale your business model. So make sure you go there for Kadena, um, Tate.com, just like it sounds, Tate, Tate.com. And so you want to make sure that you do that as well. And then also, I'm looking and seeing that there is Monique down there as well. I see you down there, Monique. We have some of our regulars that come into the room as well. So make sure that if you have any questions to ask them of Nicole, because we're talking about how to really have other streams of income as a speaker. You're not speaking every day, right? You're not on stages every day. So what do you do in between? If you're not making that 5, 10, $15,000 per the keynote, what do you do in between so that you can make that 6 and 7 figure income that most of us would like to have? So it's not just by jumping on stages, but there's some other things in the background that need to be done, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So be real honest, be open. We'll be transparent as we always are. And sometimes if you step on your toes, just say ouch, and then just know that it's all in love. Okay, it's all in love. But I'm going to release the mic and um, turn it over to Nicole, and then and Kadena and I will co-moderate the room, and then invite you all to ask questions. Okay, so I'll turn it over to Nicole. Welcome, welcome.
Yay! Well, I'm excited to be here. So, those of you that are just meeting me, again, my name is Nicole Roberts Jones. I'm known as a bankroll your brands expert. And really, my life's calling is that you do two things. One, that you live as a highest and best version of who God created you to be, and that you learn how to make multiple streams of income from it. You know, the thing I love about this whole conversation is, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it out of the gate, and I hope I step on somebody's toes. When you're a speaker, and only a speaker, you're being irresponsible. So, what do I mean by that? So when you think you're going to stand on stage for 45 minutes, 60 on a good stage, maybe 30 on some, you do not transform anybody's life in 30 minutes. Those of you that think you do, yeah, I'm here to tell you you don't. So it's irresponsible for you not to have an additional way to work with them. And so you've got to have a speaking business. You've got to be a CEO. Speaking is not your purpose. Speaking is the vehicle that drives your purpose, but it's not your purpose. And so tonight, one of the things I want to make sure we get clear, and I'm going to say this, Pam and I talk about this all the time, and Kadena, we've talked about this too, is, the number of people that come to Pam and want to build a brand. But you don't know what your brand is. You don't know who your ideal client is because you're not everybody's answer, you're somebody's answer. The question is, do you know who you are the answer to? Do you know the predictable results? Empowerment, motivation, and encouragement is not a predictable result. And so, really, I want to, whether you're here and you have a question, whether you think you're clear and you're not, and you need some support, I want to honor that tonight as I'm here getting to share with all of you, because I'm going to say this, that's holding back someone's answer. So you came here on assignment. God knew the day you were going to be born. He knew He put you here on purpose with purpose. The question is, do you know it? Are you standing in the full power of it? And how can we assure that you become the answer you were born to be in this world? So thank you for having me, Pam and Kadena. I'll open up the conversation and happy to answer questions and pour in around that conversation tonight.
Good, good. So I want Kadena kind of like to lead us a little bit. What comes before the money? Like what comes before what you need to know in terms of really cashing in on your speaking business? So Kadena, if you can talk a little bit about the buyer's journey and the avatars and all that kind of thing. Um,
Thank you so much, Pam, for the introduction. I'm going to actually start where Nicole ended, and then we'll weave back and forth, because the first thing that I need everyone to know is that running your business is not linear. And so that's one of the big mistakes that people make. They think that there's some step by step miracle formula. There's a lot of things happening all at the same time. So, for example, the first thing that you have to know is what problem are you solving, or what goal are you helping people to achieve? There must be a tangible transformation that that person recognizes as a result of investing in you. That's the first thing. And the only way that you're going to know that is if you know who your customer is. And when I say who your customer is, I'm not talking about demographics, like age, race, sex, gender. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about psychographics. What's keeping these people up in the middle of the night sick with worry? What are their deepest fears? What are the things that they wish were different, but they don't know how to change and they don't know who to ask? Are you giving voice to that thing? The thing that's the elephant in the room, but nobody's giving voice to it. And then where are they in their buyer journey? Are they kind of just like playing with the problem? Are they tolerating it? And they're kind of like, since we're talking about money, today is Thursday, let's look at money. How many people are overachieving under earners? And they're comfortable with that. They'd rather complain about how little money they have than actually create a business model that supports it. And so, one of the things that Nicole and I were talking about is that people think that having a speaker platform is sufficient, but actually, you need a solid business model that includes products, services, and experiences that are going to deepen your clients' understanding of how they're going to achieve and accomplish their goals. And then the third thing, and I know for a fact this is going to offend people, and it's not my intention, but I'm telling you this because the first 7 years of my business, I did not make money because I had Bible scriptures misinterpreted. So I thought that I was supposed to pray about things instead of doing certain things. In other words, I prayed about stuff instead of learning how to market and sell. It wasn't until I hired a coach who said, I don't care how gifted you are, right? I don't care how many anointings you have on your life. You have to learn how to market and how to sell. And that changed my business and it changed my life. So I'm going to stop there, kick it back to you, Pam or Nicole, and then we'll go from there. Thank
Okay,
you.
so I have to, girl, can I throw my shoe at
Right.
you? Can I throw my virtual shoe at you? Because I'm gonna say this to you. So I remember one time I was on a live, y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Those of you that don't know me, this is Nicole Roberts Jones, by the way, if you don't know the voice. So listen, I remember being on a Facebook Live. This was before Clubhouse, right? And a woman said, and I was talking about a program I was doing, and she said, I'm going to pray about that. And I'm going to tell y'all, y'all know, those of you that don't know me, I'm a God's girl through and through. But it bothered me that she said she was going to pray about it. So then it bothered me that it bothered me. You with me? So then I prayed about the fact that it bothered me. Like, Lord, why did it bother me? Right? Here's what God said back to me. He said, she is waiting on me, and I am waiting on her. You guys have to understand when you were born, God planted a seed in you. He's done. He's not going to water it. He's not going to grow it. He's not going to do anything with it. You have free will. And I get passionate about this because the number of people I meet that talk about they're praying about it. Girl, bye. God is like, okay, great. You can keep praying about it. You can pray about it till the cows come home. But faith without works is dead. So when you going to be about it? So sorry I had to say that, Kadena, because you, girl, when you said that, I was like, oh my God. The number of people that blame it on God, and God's like, don't blame that on me, girl. I did my part. When you, or excuse me, fellas, this is for you too. When you going to do your part? So
Well,
big.
the
So
other
big.
piece is the people who don't want to be paid and they feel like I'm just out here doing the Lord's work, right? But it also says a laborer is worthy of his hire. So when you don't know the value of
Yeah.
your gift and you're sowing your gift, your seed, if you will, into non-fertile ground, that's irresponsible as well. And we're
Yeah.
not judging you. We're telling you
It's the
hard
truth.
lessons that we had to learn
That
because the thing is, the only way out, in my personal opinion, the one way that every Black person can rise out of poverty and out of the history of slavery is to become entrepreneurs and learn how to be good stewards of your finances. I cannot emphasize that enough. We've got to come out of that spender mentality and move into a builder mentality. I am complete.
that is so true.
So,
Thank you.
okay, I'm not gonna say another word after this, but girl, Kadena is just rising all kind of stuff up in me. Think about what stewardship is, y'all. Think about what stewardship is. Stewardship is giving back a portion of that which was given to you. So if God put DNA in you at birth, and when I say DNA, I'm talking distinct natural ability, what's God's return on his investment? So if God gave you a gift, how are you growing that gift? So Pam said this a few minutes ago. I wrote a book called Find Your Fierce. And fellas, this is for you too. So hang in there because my husband gave me a whole lesson on how the fact that he couldn't be fierce. But I want y'all to get this because this is for you too. So when Beyonce was in Destiny's Child, she had for 10 years been singing with three other women, and I hesitated because it was three, then it became two, and then it became, so they went through a whole lot of stuff, right? In order for her to go to her next level, she had to go stand on stage by herself. In order for her to do that, she made up this alter ego, which was Sasha Fierce. So here's the thing I want you to get. When people say I'm praying about it, that's because they want it to be comfortable and easy. God doesn't check your bank account. He's not checking your resume. He's not checking who you know. He's not checking if your name is on the list. He's not checking any of that when he's calling you to the next level. He's checking your faith. So, in order for Beyonce to go after that next level, she had to conjure up an alter ego, which was Sasha Fierce. So, whether you want to say Fierce or Clark Kent, y'all pick, it doesn't matter. In order for you to go after this next level, you've got to conjure up a whole new level of you to go and get it. So, with that, I'll be quiet for the moment and let you go ahead, Pam.
So Find Your Fierces on Amazon. It really is. It's really, she talks about, and it's more than just motivation. It's a step by step really process that she talks about as the Fierce formula, which she used to really coach like thousands of people on their life purpose, their power and profit. She's clear about that. You will hear her on her clubhouse, you hear on her lives, you hear her on blackdoctor.com, you'll read about her in magazines, you'll see her on TV. She's been on CNBC. You will hear her always talking about that, about how she really talks about the key ingredients it is to realize your identity, how to answer people who need you. All right. How to be the answer of people who need you and will pay you as you step into abundance that is for your taking. So let me just give a story really quick because Kadena said something that brought me back the first 5 years of Ministry Marketing Solutions, my incorporated. So the first 5 years I was running around trying to be the good person and trying to help people who needed me. I was their answer, but there was something that was not being profitable. And this was before I knew Kadena and before I knew Nicole. And I was running around and I was like, you know what, this doesn't make sense. I've done all kind of marketing and promotions for companies. I've worked for McDonald's and I've done PR for the African American Museum. I've done all kind of things, Ford Motor Company, and I was a PR director for the Salvation Army. I was making money in corporate, right? I was doing the things. I worked for the Detroit Free Press. But so when I heard God say to me, I want you to now take your gifts and talents and really help this demographic of ministries, Ministry Marketing Solution. I heard it clear as day. And it was like, oh God, okay, well, you're going to have to show me. So I did the thing and I was really serving people and helping people, but I was not really getting paid. And I said, this is not working. Something is not working. I'm going to go bankrupt trying to help these folks. And so I hired a coach. Was a stretch for me, but I knew that was something that I needed because I had some blind spots. I was like, what is going on? I'm doing the work. People are just, thinking I'm so nice. And it's like, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. And I'm like, okay. And it was like, okay, the savings are running out. It's like, this is not working. This is not a business. This is an expensive hobby. And so I remember meeting with my coach and we were over lunch and she looked me in the eye and she says, Ministry Marketing Solutions, the Bible. I said, yeah. She says, well, how about this scripture? A laborer is worthy for their hire. And I said, what? She says, yeah. She says, you have a gift. You think you're worthy for this gift? Why aren't people paying you? Because you're not really using the principles of traditional business of marketing and sales to do that. Even though the demographic is Christian, you're just acting like they don't like, do they pay for gas? Do they pay for heat? Do they pay for water? So why don't they pay for marketing and PR? What is the problem here? And when she said that a labor is worthy of their wages, I was like, okay. That was a slap in the face. And then the other coach that I hired, he said to me, he says, Pam, he says, it's okay not to sell to broke folk. He says, you're going to go broke trying to sell to broke folk. He's a little bit more crass, right? That wasn't in the Bible. But it was basically the same thing. Like you are trying to just be nice. And it's like someone who is trying to go buy a car, a Mercedes, and they only have enough for a Kia. So the person who wants to sell them a Mercedes, like, I'm sorry, this is the price. You don't have the money. Come back when you save it, or you go buy a Kia. I mean, it's just that type of mentality. And so when we're talking about people who have a gift, people who want to do well. And I just want to motivate people. I want to inspire people. I want to share my story. I want to, I want to do all these things, but it's a gift. It is something that you should have that is worthy of profit. And so one of the things is that, yes, you are the answer to a group of people who need you, but you also have to find the group of people who will pay you to step into the abundance that is yours for the taking. That's what this is really about. So, Be the Answer event is really one of the things that Nicole's the 6 year now that really helps you, forge ahead to create the future that you really decide that you really want and help you monetize the gift that you were born with. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is the thing that I think is probably the hardest thing for people to understand, that it's okay to monetize. I just had my coach say this week to me again. She said to me, she says, "You need to monetize that." And I said, "What?" She says, "You need to monetize that." She said, "You need to monetize everything, Pam." She says, "You're walking and you're leaving money on the table because you're not really being cognizant of your gift." Again, a slap in the face. I was like, "Oh my God." So am I the only one that's feeling like
No,
that?
no, girl.
Okay.
Let me
Absolutely
tell
not.
you, and let me tell you, when I hired my first coach, right? And she coached me same exact lesson you learned, but the difference is, so I started faith based. I was doing this work in churches, and literally my coach said the exact same thing. It's like we had the same coach, but we didn't. And as soon as I had this lesson from my coach, I got a call from a church. I'm like, really, Lord? Why? Why? Why is the church gonna call me after this? And so I hushed. And it was the first lady of the church. She said, "And how much do you charge?" I told her my fee, and I hushed. Now, usually I would say, "Well, but that's okay. I'll come because I want to serve the people, right?" So I hushed. She said yes to my fee, and then she said, "What's your preferred airline? And are you okay with the Hilton or Marriott?" And I was blown away when I hung the phone up. Here's what God said to me. Now, I've only heard God's voice audibly, maybe about 5 or 6 times in my life. God said this: "Why would I give you a gift and want you to struggle?" The next thing he said is service and struggle should never coexist. So if you think about it like this, if God is our Heavenly Father, He loves us, why would He want His children to struggle? Why? And then as I started to grow more and more in my own gift, what I started to realize is think about what profit means, y'all. So it's not just profit, is not just about money. See, when I help my clients, they're profiting. They're profiting in happiness. They're profiting in their gift. They're profiting in the happiness that's around their family and career and community and etc. That is profit as well. And so when you do the thing that you were born to do, you create more meaning and make a greater impact in this world. That's bigger than making money. And so, baby, ever since I had that epiphany, oh, I don't have no problem asking for money now. And the thing about it is, I'm not asking for money. I'm showing the transformation that you're investing in. You're not paying for me. You're paying for you're investing in the transformation that will occur because you've made the investment.
I want to
So good,
piggyback on
Pam.
something. No, I'm so glad that you said this. So, one of the things that I want to make sure that we emphasize for those of you who are wondering what's the practical application of everything that we just said, it's the power of your story. You've got to become a better storyteller, and you've got to tell stories from a space of truth. So, for example, I have a client named Connie Sands whose brand is called Hot Money Relationship. And one of the things that I learned from her, she said, if you're worried about running out of money, you're afraid of being left alone or of abandoning yourself. If you're stingy, you're afraid of love and intimacy. If you think other people are going to cheat you, you're afraid of being abused or manipulated. If you never have enough money, it's because on some level you believe you're not enough. If you're always saying I'm broke, there's something that you feel is broken or wounded, some trauma that's unhealed. If you feel like you never get to buy the things that you want, you feel like you're deprived of love. If your money is out of control, so are your feelings. And if you need to always be rescued financially, it's because you feel needy, alone, or unloved. So oftentimes it's our relationship with money that sabotages your ability to run your business like a business, because if you can't have faith and fear at the same time. You can't say I believe in God and I believe that I am created in the image and likeness of God. I believe that God said you shall go in and possess the land, then turn around and say I'm broke, busted, and disgusted. I don't know how I'm going to pay this, that, and the third. I don't know if God is going to give me the people, the resources, right, of what I need to run my business like a business. You have to heal your relationship with money, because here's the thing: we can sit here and we can say to you, get clear on what your gift is, right? Get clear on the market that you serve. In other words, what's the niche? Because you can't serve everybody. You're not here to serve everybody. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Get clear about the needs of your ideal client and how you serve those needs, right? Get clear about the story that you're telling, the words that are coming out of your mouth that are educating, inspiring, encouraging, and equipping people for success. Get clear about the process that you're going to take people through. Is it some process where you have to literally throw them on your back and carry them over into the promised land, or drag them or push them or pull them? Or is it something that might be uncomfortable, but they're still making step by step, right? You don't get to build multiple streams of income in one day. So what a lot of people think is that they're going to be overnight successes, but it's a lot of pieces all at the same time. It's your mindset, it's your skill set, it's the actions, and it's your habituated way of thinking and doing. That's when you say, show me the money, I tell you, somebody who you think is an overnight success is probably 20 years in the making.
Yes.
Say
Okay.
that.
I
Yes.
need you to know this, right? So it took me like wait, was it? It was 12 years to earn
Took me
$300,000
17, girl. Took
because
me
my
17. Go ahead.
mindset, right? Oh my God. I was so stressed because I had all these feelings of guilt and shame and embarrassment being first bank of my family. I had all kinds of drama that I had to clean up. I had to learn how to set boundaries, right? I had to learn how to ask without guilt, shame, embarrassment, apology, explanation, and justification. You're going to have to do the same thing, right? You're going to have to sharpen your saw. I can't tell you any better than that, because here's the thing, you got to build community too. Like, see, what a lot of you don't know is I built my business offline, not online. I ran around looking people eye to eye, heart to heart, face to face, soul to soul. And it's hard, but you know what? It strengthens you, because there's a lot of people who eat hater tots and drink haterade. I don't care nothing about that, because I know that I did the work. I deserve every penny that I earn, and so do you. So you've got to clean up some things if you want to double, triple, or quadruple your income. And that's just real talk from me to you, because it takes a minute, but it doesn't have to take you 12 years, 17 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? You can learn if you get a coach,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Because that's what helped me, getting a coach. And I'm not saying that from a sales pitch. I'm telling you, there are things you
It
don't
was
know, and you don't
life.
know that you don't know.
Oh my God, it was life changing. It really was. It was life changing. And a lot of times that I would feel so overwhelmed after talking to my coach, because it was like, what was I doing? I was doing the work, but I didn't have the blueprint. I didn't have the systems. My mindset was all whack, because it was just too much trying to be a good Christian, and not really understanding business. It's like, okay, is this? It's
You know
just
what it
whack.
was? But
So
what it was, Pam, is there's a Bible verse that says you can't put new wine in old
into
wineskins. And so
Yep.
what happens is when you're building a business, I don't care how successful. Listen, I had a successful career in the entertainment industry when God called me out. I was working for the number one TV show on Fox. I was living a life. My name was on every single list. And those of you that know me, you know I was going to all the hot Hollywood parties, bumping elbows with all the stars, walking on red carpets. I'm not saying that to brag. What I am saying, the reason I'm saying that is when God called me to do this, I was like, excuse me, this was 1993. There was no such thing as a coach. And I was like, what is that? And how am I going to get paid to do that? But see, who I had already been was not qualifying me for this. God was qualifying me. And what was happening is there's a story of Abraham in the Bible. If y'all can't tell, I'm a God's girl through and through. Genesis 12:1, and I don't have my Bible in front of me. So I'm going to say this according to Nicole. So read it so you can hear it right. God called Abraham out of his country. He said, I need you to leave all your family. I need you to leave everything you know, and I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great. But he had to leave what he knew. And what happens is when you get out of your comfort, that's when God does his best work. But you've got to let it go. I had to let go of ego. I had to let go of all the stuff I already knew in order to grow into this new level of me.
That is it. That is so true. Just so that you know, you all are in the speaker PR and branding room, and I am really sharing some different things. If you want to leave a comment down at the bottom, there is a little thing down there that talks about why you should recommend this room. All right. And it's a new feature because down at the bottom, it's like leaving a review. And I'm going to be doing a seminar with Comcast in a couple of weeks, about a week or so. And one of the things I'm going to be talking to them about is really making sure that when you're doing social media that you ask for reviews or testimonials. That's social proof. That's why people like PR, because it's social proof. But social media can give you social proof. So Clubhouse has installed that action at the bottom of the page. So when you look at it and says someone may be scrolling through the hallways at Clubhouse and they're just looking at the different rooms, but if they see comments, then they'll join. It's a way of showing social proof that people are enjoying the room. So that's just a new feature on Clubhouse. I try to keep you up to date on the different social media tactics and things. If you're interested in going to the Comcast seminar, it is a bit.ly and it is Comcast social media. That's all it is. It's bit.ly/Comcast social media. It's free and it's on the 22nd of February. And it's 8:30 in the morning to 9:30. It's called The Power of Social Media, about 10 ways where you can level up your business using social media. But we're talking today about how speakers can really take the platform to profit, okay, through different products and programs. And I'm just really reading a page out of Nicole Roberts' book. It says you should consider building creating multiple revenue streams for your expertise in your business. You can have all six or a combination of a few that will create multiple ways for a client to say yes and for them to pay you. They are obviously, people know this. Speakers and authors, they know this. Books are the number one way. Two, live events. I want Nicole to talk about that. One-on-one coaching or consulting. Okay, you can coach with people or you can consult with a company. Group or mastermind programs. I have a mastermind program me and Kadena have as well. And then also there's group programs. The Branding Accelerator is a group program. I also have the Ready, Set, Go, Speak program. That's a membership program. Online programs or online courses, which Nicole is a professor by trade, so she's really good at putting together curriculum. And then also joint venture or affiliate programs. We don't really talk about that a lot, but that is a great way to really make money as a speaker by joint venturing with the right people and doing affiliate programs. So it's a way to really keep your pipeline going in terms of really walking in your abundance that God really wants for you. So just knowing those different areas, like if there's certain ones, it's like, okay, I know how to write a book, but how do I turn it into a course? Well, I know how to speak an event, but I don't know how to put together, quote unquote, a marketing event. What's all involved in that? What is the cost of that? How do you do it? How do you stream it? So a lot of those things are like pieces of like, how do I do that? And so I want Nicole to really kind of address some of those six areas.
Mhm. So, the first thing I have to say, you guys, is there's no cookie cutter approach. So when you see, like, if I said, "Ooh, Pam is doing great. I'm gonna do my business just like Pam," I will fail every day because the DNA, the distinct natural ability that was placed in me, was not placed in me to be Pam. So you've got to be clear on what is your niche. Like, what's the lane that God created you to dwell in? So if you say, "I'm meant to empower women," okay, great. Empowerment is free at church on Sunday. No one's paying for that. What do you mean by empower? And Kadena said this a few minutes ago. What's the predictable result that comes because you empowered women, okay, or men? Or I help you get a new job. Okay, but that's not telling me the predictable result. Like, how did we get to that? So I'm sharing that because without that, you can create programs. You can create online programs. You can create all of these things, but they will fail because you're not clear. I had the privilege to coach Dr. Deborah Tillman. Dr. Deborah Tillman is America's Super Nanny. And when I met her, she had a successful career. However, and what many people don't know, so of course we know she's a coach. She coaches families, but what many people don't know is that she also owns childcare centers, in addition to traveling all over the world speaking. So when I met her, she couldn't take any more clients because she's kind of busy, right? And so for her, it wasn't about not making money. Oh, she was making money. But for her, she was leaving transformation behind. And when you don't take time to get clear on who your ideal client is, how you are their answer specifically, many of us are jacks and Jills of all trades, which means you're a master of none. We don't take time to get clear on that, then what I'm going to say won't work. Okay, I have to say that because somebody will go hang up and go do this and it won't work. And Nicole don't know what she's talking about. No, you're not clear. Okay. So what? she needed was to create programs where she wasn't present. I call that making money while you sleep. Because what happens is somebody right now is going through one of my programs and I'm here with y'all. And so what happens for her is because she couldn't clone herself and be in front of more people and serve more families, she was leaving families behind because either they couldn't afford her, to keep it real, or she just didn't have enough time to serve more people. So we created what I call a blueprint. See, there's a methodology in you. There's a way you go about doing what you do. And because you do what you do in autopilot, you don't realize it. And so it will take an outside person to help you figure this out because you can't see the label from inside the jar. You're in the jar called you every day. So I literally gave her the homework I give to every single one of my clients. Now, first of all, she told me, oh, well, I tailored the experience when I work with the family. And I said, okay, are you done with that? Now, I thought she was going to fire me when I said that. She was silent, though. I think she was a little done. But anyway, I gave her the homework. I think she just humored me. But I'm going to tell you, when she came to that second call, she came in tears because she did not realize who she was and how she worked with families. So because she got clear on what she was doing, the methodology that was in her, we created what she calls the GPS, the Greater Parenting system. And now she has group programs and online programs. And so she can serve more people and do more good in the world. So for her, she wasn't trying to make more money. She wanted to not leave people behind. And so I want you to really think about that. When people come to me and say they want to be a speaker, okay, speaking is a vehicle. What are you moving people to? If you're speaking, what is the direction, the transformation that you're helping people with, and what's next? Because they need more than speaking. When you're writing a book is a vehicle. What's next? A coaching program is a vehicle. What's the predictable result that will happen to them because they experienced you? That is the most important piece. And if you're not clear on your why, your purpose, your niche, all this other stuff I just said won't work for you. So important.
It is, that is. So I want to get some people who I see Miles joined us, as well as Shar and Donetta, and I see Judge too as well, and Ty. If you have some questions for Kadena or Nicole or myself, but really we're talking about monetization of your speaking business. Those are words that go together. Those are good words. Those are words to say that I am going to be making six and seven figures in my speaking business. And I talked about some of the areas where you can do that, of how to cash in. I would recommend, Nicole has an event coming up March 18th and 19th, virtual. It's a hybrid type of event, meaning hybrid, like it's not a typical, like I'm sitting in the bubble in Zoom. She's moving around the room and she's renting the studio. It's a whole different level of experience. But it's March 18th and 19th, and it's called Be the Answer. And so I had pinned it there, betheanswerevent.com. I pinned the link there so you can kind of take a look at it and see if it is for you. Because I always say that information changes the seasons of your life. And if you're in the same season over and over and over again and things aren't really changing for you, it's because you're not getting new information and having someone push you for implementation. And so sometimes it's hard to really implement the things, but you just have to find the right person. So Nicole may be that right person that may can be that flint to help you spark to a new level of things that you need to be doing. It's like I've always wanted to do a membership, or I've always wanted to do an online course, or I've always wanted to know how to put together a live or virtual event, or I've always wanted. So, you can keep guessing or you could try to keep Googling, but sometimes you got to sit your butt down and just really focus and do it. And that's the only way transformation is going to happen. And you put your head in the game. When I look at people, and I've seen them online in these internet streets for a while, and I see a lot of people in the same spot 5 years ago, and I'm thinking like all they had to do was A, B, and C. But whatever is making you stay stuck, please don't stay stuck. You can only learn so much in a clubhouse. You really do have to take the materials that Nicole hands out or Kadena gives you, in the programs that I have, and take it and actually apply it and speak with them so that they can help you see your blind spot. So
And
they
can I
can.
just say one thing about that? Sorry to interrupt you, because the reason I even started Be the Answer is because so many people don't have clarity, and I keep saying this over and over, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you, the number of people that start businesses, and Kadena, you've seen this, and Pam, you and I talk about this all the time. that people want branding, but they don't know their niche. So it be the answer. Listen, it's not a bunch of speakers. It's an intensive. It's me coaching a small group of people in 2 days where I really get into the nitty gritty of why your business isn't working. Or those of you that want to start your business is really setting you up on a strong foundation so you know your niche, you know who your ideal client is, and you understand how to optimize it in addition to creating multiple streams of revenue and all of that. We do all of that in 2 days. So, by the way, for those of you that are here, $100 off. Pivot 22 is the code. Pivot 22. I only keep it about 30 people. And I'm just opening up registration this week, so I haven't even done it to the public yet. So Pam's people here and speakers,
Yay!
the clubhouse are one of the first people to hear. So grab your seat if you know. But what I want to say is while you're here, if you have questions about it, because I don't want anybody in it, it's got to be the right people in it. And I'm saying that because I'm coming to really pour everything I have into you. So please ask me questions while we're here if you're wondering if it's a good fit for you. So I wanted to say that before people start to register. So sorry to interrupt you, Pam.
See, I brought Dean up too. Dean, if you have a question too, there you go. There you go. Dean was on my podcast. Get out there and get known. And hey, Dawn. So those of you on the stage, we're opening up the questions. If you have questions about, you know, how you know if you're in the right lane, if you know if you're the answer, how do you monetize? I mean, what's keeping you stuck? What are some of the things that, um, this is one of those things where you can ask us anything and we're going to be telling you the truth. We've been doing it for months. So if you have any questions, raise your hand and ask now. We got about 15 minutes.
Oh, I don't have a
Hi.
question, but I got to tell you, I am screaming and praising my head off over here. Y'all doing a great job. DNA, divine, distinct, natural ability. Come on.
Wasn't that
Thank you
cool?
so much. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Dean.
I am more than fulfilled. Thank you.
Dean is over there. Dean is over there in Vegas. He liked that DNA. I did like divine. What was it? Divine. Distinct.
Distinct natural ability. Don't y'all try to steal my thing now, but you can say it. Just give me credit. Distinct natural ability, DNA. Distinct
And,
natural ability.
and then Kadena has one too. Kadena, tell me about your DNA.
You know, Nicole, I'm over here screaming, right? So I used to do this talk called Thought Leadership 101. And Nicole, I texted to you so you could see it from 2013. And I have three. Let me give you the background so that you understand. Why are you building a speaker business? Because you have to learn how to speed up your success 10 to 20 times. And I learned how to do this from Marshall Thurber. So I highly encourage you to read his books because one of the things that he says is as an entrepreneur, you must know how to do three things very well. Number one, you need to understand what a network is, meaning what a community is, how to create one, and how to optimally grow one. You must leverage. So, my three are DIA, which stands for your distinct information advantage. So, there are things that you know from your lived experiences and your expertise that you can use to serve people. That's, if you will, what you're speaking on stage, what you're putting in your books, your audio products, your video products, and so on. Then you have your distinct network advantage, DNA. And that's about you building strong relationships that are based upon mutually beneficial outcomes. A lot of times, people don't understand that people can tell when you're just in business to grab their money, they can tell when you don't care about them. They can tell. There's an energy that you hold in your body that lets everybody know that you're a taker and not a giver, that it's not about a win win. So be cognizant of that. And then the third one is the DDNA, the distinct digital network advantage. So what you're doing is you're using the internet as a tool to position yourself as a trusted resource that unifies people, the planet, and profits. So the bottom line is if you want to leapfrog the market and make the idea of competition irrelevant, right? You really have to give yourself permission to be yourself without apology because your story, your lived experiences, your results, it's going to look different than somebody else. We might all be standing on a stage, right, talking about money. Like Nicole and I, we both have conversations about multiple streams of income. But here's the thing, her background is in the entertainment industry, my background is in the aviation industry and the military. So we have two different perspectives, right? But they'll lead you to different results, sometimes similar results. But the thing of it is, I'm best at being Kadena and she's best at being Nicole, and there's no such thing as competition,
Say
right?
that.
Because together we're stronger. So I need you guys to really recognize that one of the biggest ways that I've leveraged myself is through my relationships. This is why, like you hear Pam tell you all the time, if you're pitching, you need to build relationships. Don't just call on people when you need them, right? We're adults now. We're over 21. We're not children, right? We use things, not people. Build relationships. Because here's what I'll tell you. You know how many people text me opportunities? They're like, so and so needs a speaker, so and so needs this, so and so needs that. I recommended you. Hey, send me your speaker kit. Send me this, send me that. Because of relationship, not because I'm quote unquote the best. I mean, I'm good at what I do, but give me a break. There's a lot of people who do what I do or something similar. But one thing about it, any company, when they hire me, they know that when I leave that company, a transformation is going to take place. In other words, I didn't just get on the stage, massage everybody, pump them all up, and then go home and nothing happened. They know that absenteeism is going to be decreased, right? They know that
Come
profits are
on.
going to go up because productivity
Come
goes up.
on.
You see, so we have to begin to really look at ourselves through a results based lens. And this, what I'm about to say, is going to be very masculine. It's going to make a lot of women uncomfortable, but it really is results or excuses.
Yep.
You'll hear men say that all the time, and women get really angry, but that's the truth when it comes to your money. People don't want to hear an excuse. Well, I wasn't feeling well. I didn't feel like they like me. They don't care about that. It's what result are you bringing to this organization? And when you can clearly communicate the transformational result, what are they going to see differently? What are they going to do differently? And then as a result, what change is going to happen? People will pay you money that you can't even imagine them paying you. You will look at your own checks in shock
Say
and run to the
that.
bank to cash them because you might, like, I don't want these things to bounce, right? But it's exciting. And I want that for you. But you got to want it for yourself. And you have to be willing to take action, uncomfortable action at that.
Mm-hmm.
I am complete. Thank you, Pam.
That is one of the things that page 97 of Find Your Fears, and I just love this book. I keep this on my nightstand, Nicole, is that you talked about that moment when your coach stopped you letting negative MBA rule your life. And he really, when you said, I exposed every lie that kept me playing small. And I finally started standing in the full power of my gift, your fears. It was like I woke up the sleeping baby inside of me, and I finally got the guts to push that thing out of me, merging the tools and techniques I already had into my fears formula. I immediately saw results. And you were saying that particular year, you went from $13,000 a year in your business to over $200,000. Okay. And that's what we're saying with what your coach pushed out of you. And that's really the key, because you can have it and you can do it, and quit playing small and understand that there's things that you don't understand, and then just have someone help you along the way. Will it take an investment? Yes. Will it stretch you? The last conference I went to cost me roughly about $1,000 plus my time being there, whatever. But it stretched me and it birthed something in me that just is immediately. I got a brand new client from it that really has become like a six-figure uh, add to the $1,000 or so that I spent going to that conference. And I'm saying that it's a shift that has to take place in the mind, and then understanding the levels of the expertise of how you can monetize that online programs. But the PR part of it and building the community and all of those things, that is part of it. And it's like, how do you work it simultaneously? That's where having a strategy is really, really important, and knowing what to do first. You have the clarity, but you have to know what to put in priority. What I see people doing in priority number one, really, truthfully, this is what I see, and that's the publicist. They get the idea of what they want to do for the business, and then they just try to make a whole bunch of pictures of themselves and put them out on social media. I'm like, what the hell is that gonna do?
Right. I always say you could be Facebook famous and broke.
Yes. What? What is that? It's like do the work. Do the work. Activate. And so that's one of the things I just really want to say. I want to say welcome to someone who is brand new to Clubhouse, and she is down there. She's got the party popper. It is Shanika, I believe it is. She's down there. So I just want to welcome her. She's brand new to Clubhouse. She's like, what did I stumble into?
Oh, is that what that party popper thing means? Look,
Yes,
I'm learning
she's
Clubhouse too. I've been
brand
on it for a minute. That's what that means.
That's the party popper. That is someone who's just brand new to Clubhouse within the week or so. So I want to welcome her. And then the little fists up there are people who mention about Black History Month. So that's one of the things as well. So we got the little fist up there, and that's like representing Black History Month. And then some say something about United States because they have the Olympics going on, and you'll see a little flag. I want to bring up Letitia Nicole as well. Move
Hold
her.
on. I think that Kent wanted to say something right quick, Pam.
Oh,
Kent, didn't you have your hand raised?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to just, there were questions, I've been listening for a few weeks now, just because of my job schedule, my wife's schedule, and we have little ones. So, and we don't co-parent. We actually both work from home with our businesses. And so it can be very stressful at times right now, like trying to wind ourselves down. But for the past few weeks, we've been tuning in to the topics and discussions. And before I can even think of my questions, they're already answered. And so, Dr. Pam, I've been following you for a while now. Kadena, I mean, you make the hardest thing sound so simple. And I just wanted to just give flowers to you ladies because you have been challenging us without knowing you're challenging us. And so I was a member of Black Speakers Network for a little bit due to some things in our family changes. I haven't been a member for a while, so I'm definitely plugging back in this spring. But I just want to give the flowers to Dr. Pam, Kadena, all the mods, Monica, Dr. Dean, Mr. Dean, Nicole. I've heard you before, even Sharice, I believe. And just wanted to say thank you because you force people out their comfort zone and you meet us where we are. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot because sometimes we're talking, it's like, are we really making a difference? But when you hear someone that says that made a difference, I couldn't ask a question or I didn't say anything, that's really the whole point. Because me and Kadena, after a lot of clubhouses, sometimes we'll go like, did they really get it? Did we really share? Were we too tough? We were too hard? Did we say enough? So thank you so much. That really means a lot to know that it's making a difference because we pour from our heart twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 o'clock. We want to share, especially for those in the African American community. We love our community. We want to make sure that you get it, that you win, that you win big, that you quit playing small. That is so
Yes.
important. That's like our why or why we get up. Like that is so important. We want to see us win. And so that's why we do this and that's why we want you all to win. So if we see that, it's just like someone who has the wisdom there and it's like, hey, it probably would be a better way if you did it this way. Or the topics that we come up, we said, what, we really want people to win. How do speakers really make money? This is Dr. Stacy NC Grant. How do speakers really make money? And sometimes it's not always from the stage. It can be, you can have a mastermind and have that mastermind run twice a year and make money from that. Or like Dr. Stacy, she may have a membership program or the magazine. I mean, so there's different ways, but you do have to start out with your why, your strategy, know your purpose, have the clarity, have the coach. All those different things really, really matter. Put them all together and then you have the ingredients for your cake and then your cake is ready to be eaten and be delectable for other people to enjoy. So hey, Dr. Stacy NC Grant, I saw you come in. Miss Blue, I love that blue there. How are you?
Well, just coming from another session, I said, "Ooh, it's time for the Speaker PR and Branded Club." Jesus, let me jump in and see what's happening. It's always a pleasure being in your presence. I see my dear sister Nicole. I see Leticia. I see Monica. I see Kadena. And I see the
Hey,
D
girl.
in the building. Oh my goodness. And David, everyone that's here. Let me tell you, this is the room to be in. Pam is our PR angel, and the gems that she shares and everyone that comes in this platform, I just love to jump in, offer value where I can, but also soak up all of this brilliance that's in the room. So, I'm countdown to launching Faithpreneur Magazine. Woo, woo,
Yes.
woo.
When
So let me
is it?
turn
When
on my
is
own
it?
horns. I come with my own sound effects, honey. If nobody gonna celebrate, you
Come on,
better
girl. Come on,
celebrate
girl.
yourself. And Pam, thank you for being who you are and right by all of our sides, making sure that the messages that need to get out in the marketplace do. So I'm Dr.
Yes.
Stacy. I'm gonna yield my mic because I know you're about to wrap up the room. Just wanted to share a little bit of sunshine because that's what I drop wherever I go. Back over to you, sis.
I love her voice. Her voice was just like you don't need coffee when you got Dr. Stacey Nancy Grant around. She will pep you up. Oh my God. Love her. Love her. When is that magazine coming out, Dr. Stacey?
We are dropping on the 15th of February. So we're on the countdown to that. We're doing it at our live event. We have a Night of Healing event coming up. So I'm so excited because there's so many opportunities available. And I'm a living testimony, honey. You can do it God's way and make some money while you do it.
Yes.
But, I don't want to get off a topic of the room.
No,
So let
that
me
was
just
the
yield my
topic of the room. What are you talking about? She kept saying that. What are you what? That's it. The faithpreneur, those that are in faith and they are entrepreneur. It is one of the ways, God's way to wealth. It really is. We should be more wealthy than everybody because we got God on the side of us, right? So that's on the inside of us. So that's one of the things. And Letitia Nicole, what are you doing in Detroit? Let us know what's
Whoop,
up.
whoop, whoop. Hello, 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 Dr. Pam Kadena. I missed you. Hey, Nicole, Monica, the Dean. How y'all doing? And Dr. Stacy Grant. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I love your voice. And I see Linda, Miss Jackie, and everybody. Well, I am here. I'm really excited. Really excited about being here because I'm a Detroit girl living in the North Carolina, world. But hey, I'm here this weekend and I was actually booked last year, October, to be one of the keynote speakers here. I know y'all done already kind of talked about what we're doing and talking about leadership this weekend, but I really do want to talk about just quickly about making money. Can I just talk about that a little bit, Dr. Pam? Because you pushed me out there. You and Kadena kind of pushed me out
Yes.
there with this making money. Now, I monetizing your message, but the thing is, monetizing my message made me talk about my products even more, right? Because I talk about speaking life to your health, to your wealth, to your finances, to your relationships. And then I was building products around my message. And that's how I built wealth. Speak life to your health. You got the T. Speak life to your beauty. You got your eyelashes and your lip gloss. Speak life to your time. You got your planner. So I'm telling you, you can monetize your
That
message
plan.
if you get out there and you talk about it. And if you listen, people say, why you got to tell everybody everything all the time? Well, if you don't tell them, how they gonna know about it and how they gonna know what to buy and how much it costs? Okay, my name is Letitia Nicole, and I speak life, and I yield the mic.
Ooh, that planner, that planner is no joke. You hear me? That is everything. That planner, I told you, I said that could be the only thing you did because you put time and energy in that planner. I'm a planner person, so I love that planner. And I told you, I said that needs to be like the lead product, especially towards the end of the year. That planner will get your whole life together. It will bless your whole soul, right? It's like that is the thing. So yes, she has a gift of being the person that wherever she goes, she's entrepreneurial minded. So she sees products. I mean, she has the faith t-shirts and hoodies and things like that. And she can do the TikToks and the reels to make you want to buy them, right? Like whatever it is. So that's being an influencer. That's a whole nother thing. We didn't talk about that stream, but you can be an influencer as well. That's another stream that a speaker can do as well. And that's a whole nother clubhouse for a whole nother day because I'm part of the Amazon influencer program. So starting in March, I'll be interviewing authors on the Amazon platform. But that's a whole nother thing. But speakers know that you have a message to share and you have to learn how to monetize that. So if there are any questions, we are at 10:01. I want to take one last good question from someone that came up. There you go. Is that David? I saw you. There you go. Hey, David.
Hey there, friends. Thanks. I had a little problem with the app. I got bounced out, so I'm excited to be back with you all. And maybe I'm just the boring one. I'm an agent. I'm not years ago I was a speaker, so all the energy, and I just love hearing it, how such great ideas are wrapped in such eloquence and in an inspirational way. I'm just a boring business guy, I guess. So
No,
I would say,
the boring business guys. Like, you book people that want to speak at universities and colleges, correct?
yeah, for the last 25 years, my company, Campus Speak, has really been lifting up voices that make college students better across North America. And yeah, it's been kind of my life's purpose, being able to bring great messages that make students better people.
I love that. And colleges have budgets, right?
That they do. That they do. It's a unique market, and it's challenging in many ways because of some specific issues that make the whole business model more challenging. And I think it's one of those things that when you get on an airplane, no one walks onto the airplane, looks into the cabin, and goes, "Well, I've been on many airplanes. I think I could fly this." But many people do go, "Hey, I went to college, and so I think I can understand the market and speak on a college campus," and realize that there's a lot more to it than just that. So part of what we've been doing is helping people, some that we end up representing and many that we don't, understand the college market and how they can make a good living. And, it was years ago given to me as advice that there are a lot of people in this world that make a lot of money doing things that hurt other people. And never should you feel guilty or apologize to anyone for making a good living doing something that helps people. And I think that's the idea of doing well by doing good, and something I've been able to live by, and help people sometimes that have the best message, that are the ones that are holding themselves back from trading real value, financial value, because they are so passionate about how their particular message will make the world better, and almost put a layer of guilt onto themselves. Trust me, I know guilt. I'm Jewish, and I know the Catholics think they perfected it, but we Jews invented guilt. And I'll tell you that you shouldn't feel guilty for looking at trading value. That the things you do make. If you right now had the cure to cancer in your pocket, think of the money that you would sell that to so many people for, and all the people that would be so glad to pay whatever they could. And so maybe your message isn't curing cancer. Maybe it's helping someone find a better life or better health or relationships with those around them or spiritually. But whatever it is, I just kind of walk into this believing that the world's an imperfect place and it's our job to try to make it better. And many of us just happen to have a small piece of that giant puzzle, and it's our responsibility to use it. And there's nothing wrong with trading the value that you have for resources that do things like, I don't know, pay rent or a mortgage or buy clothes for your kids. Like, there's nothing at all wrong with that. And the more value that you are able to give and the more people you're able to impact and the deeper that impact, it's completely fair and right for you to say, I'm increasing my expectations in this trade of value. So I think when I've been able to work with speakers that are very mission driven, and we talk about that concept and help reframe their view of the idea of trading value, um, that it allows them to get to a place where this can become not a side hustle, a hobby, but really a main part of what they do as they wake up in the morning and think about their day, and reframe their life around the ability to get income that fuels that business continuing to serve. But I've probably talked for too long, and if I can serve anyone in any way, I'm happy to be a resource. And thanks for bringing me up and allowing me into the conversation.
No, that was it. You can do well and do good, or do good and do well. That's the point. Do good and do well. That part right there, David, just kind of summed it up, because what happens sometimes is a lot of people speak from their testimony. I would say African Americans like, oh, we're going to give our testimony. And so then the testimony becomes our speech. And then it's like, well, I'm going to get paid to give my speech, but you have to say that you're bringing value. You're showing transformation. That's why learning the speaking industry is so important. It's not testimony time in church. It's really a business that you can really, your gifting and all the things that you have about your purpose are wrapped up in a business model, but you have to learn it in order to implement it. So I appreciate what you said 1,000%. It goes exactly what Nicole and Kadena talk about well, not every, well, every Thursday we talk about the monetization and the marketing, but it is exactly what we're talking about. And no, it is not boring. It is something that we need to hear. And so I just appreciate that. And people need to really look at the college market as a market that they can tap into as well. So thank you so much for adding that. I want to give the last word to Nicole as we close out the speaker PR and branding room, and make sure that you do click the link above as well to find out a little bit more about Be the Answer event. It is a unique, it only happens once a year. It's been in the sixth year this year. Uh, and did not miss a beat during COVID as well. It became just different, but it was still good. So Nicole, I release the mic to you.
Yay. So I want to make a personal invitation. Those of you that know that now is your time to start or grow your purpose focused business. So if you're trying to start a business or gadget or pins or, any kind of hard product, I'm not your girl. But those of you that want to take your brilliance that you begin a paycheck for and you're ready to create multiple streams of revenue from it, whether you've been in business or you're just starting out, Be the Answer in 2 days. I'll walk you through everything you need to get paid for what you know. So go to betheanswerevent.com. I love that Pam posted it here. I don't know how you did that, girl. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that, but I love that she posted it here in the clubhouse room. So you can click there. Pivot 22, pivot in all caps, $100 off until Sunday. And here's the thing, you come empty, I'm coming full to give you everything you need. When you register, you start immediately my online program, Big Bold Move, because listen, I said this earlier, you can't put new wine in old wineskin. So I want to expand your territory because my goal for you is not to expand who you already are. I'm coming for who you have not yet become. So, again, if you're ready to go after God's highest and best version of who you were created to be, then I look forward to seeing you in the virtual room on March 18th and 19th at Be the Answer. Thank you, Pam, for having me. I appreciate you. It's always great to be with you and Kadena, sisters in the journey. Yeah, excited to be here and excited to get to coach a small few of you at Be the Answer.
Yes, and she happens to be in Detroit at the time with Letitia Nicole. So we had dinner this
Yay!
evening. So it was cool seeing people. I'm just so glad to be anywhere. Sometimes the last 2 years with this COVID thing has been a beast, but to see people in person, you just kind of like lose your mind. You hug them and you just look at them and you hug them
Right, like
again.
you can't believe it. Like, yay, 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 people!
People. So she's here with Sean Fair. We had him 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or last week at the Leadership Experience. So hopefully we can see Monica as well. And Judge, you'll be meeting us Zoom on Friday as well. So that'll be cool as well. Kadena, did you have a last something you want to say before we kind of close out? We're like at 10:09, so we're still good.
Three things. Number one, please follow everyone that's on the stage and also the people who are down in the audience. Build relationships, have conversations with people, not so that you can get something, but so that you can get an understanding of how you can support one another. Also, make sure that you visit Pam's website and sign up for Ready, Set, Go Speak so that you can learn how to use PR, right, to secure the visibility, the credibility, and the authority that you've been looking for. Visit my website, kadenatate.com, and download the Reinvent Your Speaker Business Model Toolkit. Watch the video, take notes, and then take action. And then remember the words of our friend David, right? Value creation leads to wealth generation. We have a responsibility to change the narrative, right? To change the historical and generational trauma that has affected us as Black people. And one of the ways to do that is for you to be a better steward of your money, which means you're going to have to become a better steward of your entrepreneurial gift, talent, strengths, and abilities. And with that, I am complete.
Wow, that was good. Well, you guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Dr. Stacy, you know I got to get my roadcaster together. So, but can you just leave us out with one little horn thing?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get that
I
together.
love it.
We get together.
I aim to please, Dr. Pam Perry.
I'm gonna have to find that sound effect. I got to get that in my life.
Love
I
you,
got
Nicole.
I got it on my desk, but I can't figure out how to put it in. Oh my God. So thank you all so much for joining us. This has really been good. This is like one of my favorite rooms that we've had in a long time because everybody was so transparent and honest. So thank you all so much. And I'm going to promise you, I'm going to get to my back channel message. I promise. I'm that right now. So thank you all so much for joining us. Please do a screenshot, tag us. We love doing that as well. And I'm going to save the replay as well. So I'm going to count the room down and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All righty. Thank you guys. Talk to you
All
later.
right. Thank you.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Blessed by the
Good
best,
night.
dressed by the rest.
Thank you.